All right, it's Friday morning. Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your final edition of our 8-step plan to create massive results. And today we're talking about persistence. And I'm telling you what, today is going to be a masterclass. I am telling you, we have got some amazing content. And it's going to really cap off this 8-step series that we've been doing. But when I get this started, I want to start with kind of a quote. It's a quote about persistence from Calvin Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge said, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, 'Press on,' has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race." I'm telling you, persistence, when you start to really study it, is a topic that you can it really fascinates me, but it's something that I think will really create and open the gateway to floods of attracting wealth and fulfillment and happiness into your life. Persistence is a word that I think you ought to rank right up there in your top values in life. And for anything in life to work, it requires persistence. And in the best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about persistence. And since that book is probably the most acquired and read book, in fact, I think it is the most bought and read book in human history outside of the Bible, I think there's no better way to end this 8-step series than to cover topics of persistence directly from Think and Grow Rich. So I'm going to do that today and talk and basically share these thoughts from Napoleon Hill with you. And I'm telling you, I want you to listen real carefully. I'm providing a serious, literal masterclass right now. I'm going to take you these thoughts right out of Think and Grow Rich. Millions and millions and 80 million copies sold. No, 100 million copies sold over 80 years. I mean, this is an incredible book. So I want you to take notes. I want you to go back to this episode as often as you can and share it. And I'm going to get right into it. So Napoleon Hill said, "No one enjoys great achievement without passing the persistence test. Those who can't take it simply do not make the grade. Those who can take it are bountifully rewarded for their persistence. They receive as their compensation whatever goal they're pursuing. And that's not all. They receive something infinitely more important than material compensation, the knowledge that every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage." You've heard that before. There are exceptions to this rule. There are exceptions to this rule. A few people know from experience the soundness of persistence. They're the ones who have not accepted defeat as being anything more than temporary. So to develop persistence, he goes on to say, there are 4 simple steps which lead to developing this habit of persistence. They don't call for a great amount of intelligence, no particular amount of education, and really little time or effort. But these are the steps. Number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Now remember, we're talking about how to develop persistence. A definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. And number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. I really like that one. And number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through both their plan and their purpose. I love how he sums those up in a definite purpose backed by desire, a plan with continuous action, a mind closed tightly to negativity, and an alliance or a mastermind, you'd call it, with persons that will encourage you to follow through. Now, these 4 steps are essential for success in all walks of life. When one makes an impartial study of the prophets, philosophers, miracle men, and religious leaders of the past, you're drawn to the inevitable conclusion that persistence, concentration of effort, and definite of purpose were the main reasons for their achievement. And when riches take the place of poverty, the change is usually brought about through well-conceived and carefully executed plans. So anyone can wish for riches. In fact, most people do, but only a few of them have a definite plan, plus a burning desire for wealth, and their means and opportunity for creating that wealth. And one of America's most successful and best-known financiers, I think you'll know who this is, followed the habit of closing his eyes for 2 or 3 minutes before making a decision. And when asked why he did this, he said, with my eyes closed, I'm able to draw upon a source of superior intelligence. So, look, making your desires clear and reducing them to writing is a key, but you'll also understand the necessity of persistence in carrying out those plans. It begins with study, analysis, and understanding that you will have 3 enemies that you will have to clear out. And these enemies are indecision, doubt, and fear. Indecision, doubt, and fear. And, Napoleon Hill goes on to talk about the fact that there are 6 basic fears. And I love how he puts it. There are 6 basic fears, with some combination of which every human suffers at least one time or another. Most people are fortunate if they do not suffer from all 6, and named in order of their most common appearance, here they are. The fear of poverty. At the bottom of most of one's worries, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, of someone that they know or admire, and the fear of old age, the fear of death. Fears are nothing more than states of mind. One state of mind is subject to control and direction. So man or woman can create nothing which he does not first conceive in his mind in the form of an impulse or thought. Following this fact may be explained by the statement that every human being has the ability to completely control his own mind, and with his control, obviously every human may open his mind to tramp those same thought impulses which are being released by their brain, and close the door tightly to these impulses based on their own choices. Master the fear of loss of love by reaching a decision to get along without love, if that's necessary. Kill the habit of worry in all of its forms by reaching a general blanket decision that nothing which life has to offer is worth the price of worry. He's really talking here about the fact that these 6 fears can be overcome with the same mind that creates the fears. And that's something that's so important. You may control your own mind. You have the power to feed it whatever thought impulses you choose. And with this privilege also comes responsibility of using it constructively. You're the master of your own destiny, just as surely as you have the power to control your own thoughts. You may influence, direct, or eventually control your own environment, making your life what it is you want it to be. Or you can neglect to exercise the privilege which is yours to make your life to order, thus casting yourself upon the sea of circumstances, like a ship on the waves of the ocean. Now, you have absolute control over but one thing, and that is your thoughts. We know this. This is one of the tricks of opportunity. It has a sly habit of slipping in by the back door, and often it comes disguised in the form of misfortune or temporary defeat. Perhaps this is why so many fail to recognize opportunities when it appears. Know what you want and have the determination to stand by that desire until you realize it. One of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary defeat. Every person is guilty of this mistake at one time or another. When riches begin to come, they come so quickly and in such great abundance that one wonders why they've been hiding, or where those riches have been hiding during all the lean years. I like how he puts that, because the bottom line is opportunity does come from misfortune. Now he goes on to say, and this is the part I really want to emphasize here as we close, success comes from those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. So when you focus on failure, you're going to get failure. Every person who wins in any undertaking, listen closely to this, must be willing to burn his ships and cut all sources of retreat. Only by doing so can one be sure of maintaining the state of mind known as a burning desire to win. It's essential to success. Success requires no apologies. Failure permits no alibis or excuses. If the thing you wish to do is right and you believe in it, go do it. Put your dreams across. And never mind what they, quote unquote, say if you meet with temporary defeat or naysayers. For they, quote unquote, perhaps do not know that every failure brings with it the seed of another success. Repetition of affirmations, this is a key. Of orders. So he talks about repetition of affirmations to your subconscious mind is the only known method for voluntarily developing the emotion of faith. See, faith is that elixir which gives life, power, and action is the impulse of your thought. Thoughts which are mixed with any feelings or emotions constitute a magnetic force which attracts from the vibrations of either related thoughts. So I wanted to share that with you because I believe that persistence absolutely is important for you to be able to execute on your 8 steps, your plan, your vision. But persistence is going to be met by these invisible forces. You have to know that persistence is something that's going to constantly come up against, this indecision, this doubt, and this fear. And you can only overcome those by being dedicated to your vision, dedicated, and building that belief and that faith through action and repetition. So that's the topic I wanted to share with you today, which is persistence. I hope, in fact, it's my goal to help to inspire you to get to the point that you will really implement when you're in a time where you need to pivot these 8 steps, this idea of creating your vision, having clarity around how you're going to get there, making decisions and flooding those decisions with certainty, and then all out massive action followed up with discipline and accountability. And then learning to value persistence and know that no matter what, the ups and downs, the cycles of life, the waves that hit you, the outside circumstances, that persistence is going to do it. Look, one of my friends and great mentors, Les Brown, says, you have greatness inside of you. You do. It's not a matter of whether you believe it or not. You have greatness inside of you. And it's never too late to start living the life that you were meant to live. All it takes is a decision. All it takes is a decision to start today and to move forward in your life. Forget what's happened in the past. Forget all the failures. Forget all the things. Stop focusing on those and create a bright future vision that you can just focus on. And you will go unbelievable places this next year in 2022. Can't believe we're even saying that. 2022 is next year. And I hope you're prepared. I hope you're preparing yourself, and I hope you're not waiting. I want you to punch through that starting gate at the beginning of the year. So take some of these, go back and listen to them if you need to. Share these thoughts. DM me or tag me in your story. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what's holding you back from creating the life that you really want to live, so that we can cover some of these topics and I can get you some key learning, some key mentoring, some key strategies that I've picked up from the great experience that I've been grateful to have with all these thought leaders and my own personal experience over life over the last 20, 25 years in business. So that's my message for today. Have an amazing weekend. Live your best life every single day, and I'll talk with you on Monday. Have a great day.